Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it is time for Top 5 Tuesday. I am your host from Crate Insider. I'm Kate Dillon, and as always, I'm excited to be here live on Top 5 Tuesday. Always love it. In fact, there's my bell that's going off to remind me. I don't really need a reminder for Top 5 Tuesday anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, I've got a good show for you. Some top products. I don't think there's gonna be anything here that's a stranger, but I love to kick this off by talking about the items that we're gonna give away this week. And our very first thing that we're giving away is from our friends over at ZMax. So actually this is my shirt because I have our winner's shirt. It's still in the plastic, so this happens to be an extra large. And all you need to do to have a chance of winning the giveaway is just to drop in a comment. You can say hi, tell us where you're from, you can drop in a question. I love questions. I love answering them on the show because if you've got a question, then other people probably do too. So happy to do that. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to bring up ZMax this week is ZMax is one of the sponsors that's come on board for the Cars Racing Show that's happening not this weekend, but next weekend, December 11th and 12th. And we are definitely moving forward with the trade show. It's a retail show where we will be selling items right there at the show. In fact, I'm working on planning my booth over here. Got a whole little sketch. I've never had a booth for a Crate Insider, so it's gonna be it'll be a little bit of a challenge for me, but I'm super excited about it. And a lot of the products that you see here today, probably all of them, I will have at the show ready to sell right there on the spot. So I always do 2 giveaways, and one of the giveaways, of course, is if you just leave a comment of any type at all. The second way that I do a giveaway is if you know what my sign said last week. So this sign has become such a it's almost like another character on the show. You know, to be honest, I ran out of ideas for sayings for the sign at one point, so I took it down for a couple weeks, and oh my gosh, people were messaging me, they were texting me, they were leaving comments on Top 5 Tuesday saying, what happened to the sign? We missed the sign. Bring back the sign. So we brought back the sign. So I have to show you, when I saw this as a promo, I absolutely had to have it. And this right here is what I'm giving away. It's a mini version of my sign, except this one says Crate Insider on it. So if you get an idea of the scale, it's little, so it's little instead of bigger like this one. It's 4x6 is what the size is here, and it comes with letters and it comes with the batteries, so it'll light up. Well, this one will light up too, but it always blasts out the camera, so that's why I don't light it up for the show. But in order to win the sign or have a chance, is just drop in a comment with what my sign said last week. So if you're a loyal, you know, I love to reward our loyal viewers, our loyal customers. So if you know what that said, drop that in. So I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to some folks. I see Scott's here, and David, and Paul, and Andy, and Ronnie, and Andrew. Oh, we've dropped in a link here. If you guys don't have tickets for the show, we're still doing free tickets. So if you're gonna come to the show, which of course we want you to come to the show, get your free ticket. Like literally just click on the link, or if you're later watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description for the Cars Racing Show. Get your ticket. It's free. You can actually sign up your whole team all at one time. So you can click on Get Tickets, and then you start entering the names, and we'll have the name badges just waiting for you at the door. That way you don't have to worry about being in a long line, and we will be charging at the door. So if you wait and come anyway, which of course we want you to be there, we'll be charging you at the door, but we'd rather just give you that ticket for free and get your badge and have it all ready for you to go. I see Ashley is here, and Mike, and Billy is here, and Jennifer, and wishing us a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Looks like I have a special guest. I can hear my special guest, Pippi. Pippi wants to play with the laser. He would rather play with the laser. This is the perils of having a office kitty, I suppose. But he's a joy too. So we've got Jim and Robert and Lucas and Paul and Penny. A lot of new folks here today. So thank you so much for being here. And Bill is always funny saying comment as his comment. And hi Kate, so that's great. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in to our top 5 this week. We've got 5 great products, and in the number 5 spot, And actually, I have a big shout out to the folks at Daytona 1. This is the Daytona 1 XL1 engine treatment, which is one of our top sellers overall. Now, this as an oil treatment, you put it in with your engine oil, and you can use this on a regular passenger car as well as a race car. So in a race car, it's going to help free up more horsepower because it cuts down on the friction. But in a regular passenger car or truck or towing vehicle, when you cut down on the friction, it actually helps you with your gas mileage. So, I know a lot of people don't really worry about that so much when gas is like $1.85 a gallon, but I'd rather, regardless, I want to use less fuel if I can. So I love it for that, and I know it's also protecting my engine. But the other big thing about Daytona 1 is they stepped up from day one to be a sponsor of the Cars Racing Show. So I will be forever grateful to Buck over there at Daytona 1. We worked with him for years and just really appreciate that, that boost of, hey, yeah, believe in what you're doing. We want to be a part of it. And I also know Daytona 1 has an exclusive new product coming out that I already know what it is. Actually, I've already shot a video, but I can't tell. I'm sworn to secrecy, so none of that will come out until we come out with it at the show. But he's got a brand new product that I think is an absolute game changer. But our Daytona 1 XL1 engine treatment, this is the 72-ounce bottle. It runs $84.95. You would use about 16 ounces per oil change, at least with a Crate engine. So this is going to make you, 4, maybe 5 treatments out of this bottle. So pretty economical. I mean, when you really break it down and you start thinking about how much money each horsepower costs, this is definitely a great value. Plus, you're protecting your engine. So that's definitely a win-win. All right, next up in the number 4 spot this week is from our friends at Daylube. So the Daylube grease here, and I always like to show this because it's a white grease. See, it's a nano ceramic grease, works fantastic on any of the places where you need grease. And with a tube like this, of course, you can put it into a caulking gun to be able to use your grease. And this comes in a tube, it comes in a jar, or it comes in a 1-ounce syringe. So whatever way a delivery method works best for you, we have it all in the same listing, so you can just pick the different sizes. But this size, the 16-ounce, which is going to be the tube or the jar, these run $45.79 for the Daylube. And I will have Daylube at the show. I will definitely have that available for purchase, because that's really all you're gonna hear from me for the next 10 days is show. That's really, that I only know one language right now, and it's racing show. That's the only language I know right now. so if that bothers you, just put me on mute for a week. But all right, next up in the number 3 spot right here is from Dominator, and this is our cold air box. This has been one of my favorite products because I know that a lot of times racers who are fabricators, the 2 things that they absolutely hate doing the most are building fan shrouds and cold air boxes. So I really love the fact that here we have a solution from Dominator that is really easy to work with. So it comes with this gasket seal right here that you would put on top of your air filter base. Then this cold air box sits on top, and then when you're installing this the first time, you'll slide your hood in from the side, and that'll determine how much of this you need to cut off, because you really want this underneath your hood. It's not going to protrude from your hood. You are going to cut this down, and you can see here it's got some flexibility. It's certainly stout, but it's not so brittle. It's not like it's just a hard plastic. It's meant to be cut. So you can pull out some tin snips, you can mark it with a chalk line, pull out some tin snips, and then snip along any of the areas that you want to remove. Very, very easy to work with, and clearly a lot faster and easier than if you're trying to build a cold air box out of just bare aluminum. So great solution there. Dominator cold air box, and it runs $69. So very economical as well. All right, next up in the number 2 spot this week, we were just talking about air filters, and with that comes our air filter base. Now this has been our newer version right here, our black air filter base. It's a black powder coated base, and we do sell it with the SureSeal ring, so it all comes together and it's it's ready to go for you, and you can just drop it on there, put your air filter on here, you're good to go. And the black powder coat, what I really love is it just makes it stronger and sturdier. Really makes a difference there, because aluminum can dent pretty easily. I know it's not one of those things that has to stay perfectly, perfect or whatever all the time, but same time you still want to have nice things and you want it to look nice. So with the black air filter base, it runs $109.50 for that whole setup. And apparently my special guest star does not want to give up. Nope, okay, he just wants to play with the laser. He does not want to be up here on camera, by the way. So that would be Pippi being loud. I'm gonna apologize for Pippi. Pippi, stop. All right, so before, who knew that would be a thing? Pippi's now a character on my Top 5 Tuesday show. So, alrighty. Anyway, I'm gonna see if there's any questions really quick, then we'll jump on to our top product of the week. And I'm just gonna see if I have any questions in the comments here. And Michael says, can't wait for the show. Yeah, me too, I'm getting so excited. All right, great. So next up, in the top spot this week is not a big surprise, but it's gonna be our match sets of 602 valve springs. Is that a Pippi? There's Pippi right there in the background. He loves, what are you doing? So Pippi has made a cameo appearance. I'll get out of the way so he can be on screen here. But in the top spot this week is our matched sets of 602 replacement valve springs, and they run $109.75. These are genuine GM valve springs. We just go through, we rate them and get rid of any of the bad ones, and we'll go ahead and repackage them. So that's in our top spot. So Alex is helping me out in the office today, and he's gonna find us a couple of winners. And just to recap, then first of all, our Z-Max t-shirt happens to be an extra large from our friends over at Z-Max. That's going to be Brian Mice. So Brian, I may not be saying your last name correctly, M-E-I-S. So Brian Mice, if you would, please send Crate Insider a private message with your address and we'll get that sent out to you. And then for knowing my sign, oh, you're definitely a loyal viewer. You've been here so many weeks. Jennifer Romero. So Jennifer, you're the winner. Please send Crate Insider a private message and we'll get that sent out to you. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I think, because I'll be setting up for the show. And in the meantime, have a great week.